Hey, broken salespeople. So today I want to talk about closing techniques and how you're looking at closing techniques the wrong way. That's this episode of the Broken Salespeople podcast. Hey, broken salespeople. Welcome to the workshop. My name is Red Staffstrom, and we are here to help you fix your broken sales skills. So, today I want to talk about closing again. And I know this is a hill that I am prepared to die on, and I've spoken about it a number of times, most at length in episode 3 or 4 about closing techniques. But I want to go into it again because I still have people who want to argue with me about it, who want to talk about closing techniques and how once they started doing hard closing, their sales got completely better and they did so much more and made so much more money. So I want to go a little more in depth and explain using a better metaphor in order for people to think about closing techniques. So, first and foremost, I am not completely against closing techniques. I'm not. I believe they have their place in small level sales. If you work in retail, for instance, car sales, typically you have to be a little more forceful. But for many of the people who listen to this channel, who do much more relationship style sales, people who do business to business, people who do real estate, closing techniques is not something that's going to get you that deal. I want you to think about foot race. I want you to think about track and field. And let's talk about the 100-meter dash because it's the easiest to understand. It's easy to say that Usain Bolt wins on the day that he actually does win the race. It's easy to think that. It's easy to think of that instant gratification that he went out on that particular Thursday and he beat everybody else. But in reality, that isn't what happened. See, that race was decided probably months, if not years before. It was decided partially based on genetics, partially based on height, on muscle density, on all those kinds of things. It's based on hard work. It's based on diet. It's based on regimen. It's based on training techniques. There are so many more things that go into that 100-meter dash that most of us will never get to see. The race itself is largely a formality. When Usain Bolt broke the world record, I don't think he was surprised. The rest of us were. The rest of us were like, wow, he really is that fast. But no, he wasn't, because he knew after running for years and years and years and timing his race over and over again, you think he never checked what his stopwatch said compared to what the world record for the 100-meter is? Of course he did. Of course he checked those things out and he realized, hey, I have a shot of beating this thing. But it didn't happen on that Thursday. It didn't happen the day of the race. It happened weeks, months, years before, that none of us knew about, that none of us seen. It just became solidified when that happened, when he crossed that finish line. That's a great way to start thinking about closing techniques. Yes, that is the final race, but it's really been determined based on all the work you did up to that point. How did you build relationship? How did you present your products? How did you handle any objections or avoid objections altogether when you talked it over? How did you treat them? How did you treat their coworkers? Last week I talked about how to get past gatekeepers. That contributes into your ability to sell. Because if you disrespect Cheryl at the front, you're probably not going to get very far when it comes to sit down at that conference room table and actually put the deal on paper. But it's not signing the contract. It's not getting them to sign on the line that is dotted that creates the deal. That's not what gets the close. Everything you said, the agreement that you talked about for hours or weeks or months, all went into that piece of paper. It took a long time to decide that those are the things that you're going to talk about, that those are the things that you agree to, that you're going to provide in exchange for money and resources or whatever is actually on that deal. Signing the contract is the easiest part. Same thing with closing techniques. If you're already doing everything the right way, the close is nothing more than a formality because you set everything up the way that you needed to. You made sure everything was in place. You ran that race thousands and thousands and thousands of times before the cameras even turned on. That's the difference. Will a closing technique sometimes push you over the edge? Maybe, but it's not going to change if you ate McDonald's every day, all day for every single meal. That's not going to help you. You need to make sure that you're doing all the things leading up to that close the right way. You can't expect to just throw a Hail Mary at the end and, oh, he fell for the my pen or yours line. It's not going to happen. That's wishful thinking. Do things the right way from the very, very beginning. Make sure you're doing the training, doing the exercise, eating the right foods, focusing on the nutrition. Make sure that you're putting together all the things that you need to deliver, creating testimonials, creating customer reviews, because all of that will help you a lot more than knowing the Columbo close, or do you want delivery Tuesday or Wednesday? None of those are going to help you as much as all the work ahead of time. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Please take the time to like, subscribe, review. All of that really helps the channel out. If you have any questions or you want to reach out to me, you could find all of my contact information along with blogs on brokensalespeople.com. And until next time, please go fix yourself.